So,
Sorry.
Will, do you want to explain exactly how you two got together on this project?
Hello.
Hi, Zaha.
I'm not going to cry.
So, you know, I Google things and search for awesome stuff online, and one of the most awesome, amazing designers, architects, dreamer, maker that we have in culture today is Zaha Hadid. So one day I was just looking at her buildings like, wow, look at that building. I wonder if she would want to collaborate on our device. Because I saw her shoes and her rings and her bracelets, and the first thing that hit my head was, let's reach out to Zaha Hadid to see if she would be interested in making a smart device and designing it from an art fashion perspective. And so we reached out to her, and I was blown away by her office and the tables, and more importantly, the person, because she's so nice, so open-minded, and it was kismet that we were to meet. And you know, she's an amazing person and does amazing things. And thank you so much for, you know, believing in, you know, our little vision here and the things that we're doing. You know, because there's a lot of giants out there that make technology that, you know, she could be working with, and she chose to work with us, and I'm really, really overwhelmed and blessed. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. We're very delighted, and we welcome these collaborations. It adds something to our work, and we always want to engage with things we don't know much about. You know, so it's also as to the architecture or whatever. And I think that I've always believed that, you know, we can do anything if we know the skill, and so it's very exciting for us.
And when you're designing a smart device, presumably your practice hasn't done many smart devices. You've done all sorts of things.
Most probably none.
So how do you decide as a designer, this is the feeling it should give off, this is the look it should have?
No, I think that, you know, it depends on what we're currently working on, so it's very kind of contemporary with the current work. And we interpret it for a cuff or whatever it is, or whatever it might be. Yeah, so I think that it's an interpretation of the idea which may have emerged through other sources or through other working on other things, but it has obviously a uniqueness because it's not like other stuff we've done.
So when do we get to see your interpretation of the pulse?
I don't know, is it here?
Ooh, we're going to see some pictures.
Can we show it?
We've got some pictures.
I'm not sure they have it.
We think we probably do.
Maybe
Okay,
not.
this is all a bit kind of last minute and exciting. This has only just been released.
Yes. 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 This is, wow. Whoa, look at that one. Yes. That's my favorite one right there. Yes. Okay. Yes.
There must be others.
Yes. Boom. Okay. Bam.
Wow.
Yes. Boom. Bam. Wow. What? Yes.
These are beautiful objects. Talk us through your thinking with a device like this one. What are you trying to say with it?
I don't think it has a particular message necessarily, but I mean, we work on the idea of striation, for example, and how it could also have deflections. And from a very large object to a very small object, you can interpret this as a kind of very nice piece to touch and how to wear, and but it also operates as a device. So you know, you can wear it both ways or the same way. Or You make a few of them. It's like a bango.
And what kind of challenges do you face with materials for a new
Well,
kind
I
of
think,
connected device?
we've modeled them in the office, but I think that would be the next step. We haven't decided that step yet, how it's going to be made.
So you're really reinventing the successor to the telephone?
So no, so that's a very hard thing to ask because smartphones rule our world. But similar to people that have tablets, you probably still have a laptop. Folks that have tablets still have laptops. So folks that will have a Pulse that's standalone that doesn't need a phone will still have a phone, right? So then there's certain things that you're going to do on the Pulse that you won't be able to do on your smartphone. Just like there's things you can't do on your laptop that you could do on your tablet, you know. So and that's what is going to allow this space to really truly grow. When you start thinking of what to do on your wrist differently from what you put and do in something that comes out of your pocket. And the work that we're doing at I.am Plus, I'm so proud of our engineers and this collaboration because, as you can see, we're not the giants. We're not the big companies that have billions of dollars. We just have billion-dollar ideas and billion-dollar passion to see it done. And it's really not about the money, it's about why we're doing it, who's supposed to get inspired, and what direction they dream down, right? Dream down this avenue and aspire to have wonderful stuff you want to express yourself with. We have a black one, I got a gold one. Check my diamonds.
Bling.
Yeah, we have I have a white one, a pink one, a blue one,
It actually works as a bag as well.
pink one, blue one, white one, red one. And this bag right here is sound and power, just by putting it in there. So it's pretty cool stuff that we've been working on.
So let's congratulate this guy.
Thanks, guys.
And we can't have the most amazing creative talent, Zaha Hadid, here without telling us some of the cool things you've been up to lately. So last year we had Björk here on stage, and nobody was listening to Björk. They were looking at her shoes, which I think you designed. But talk us through some of the things you've been working on lately, and I think we've also got some images to help us through the discussion.
I mean, one of the reasons I'm very kind of attracted to products as well is because with buildings, you know, it takes much longer time to achieve and to do, and has a level of complexity which is very exciting. I just have a kind of a repertoire of the old work, some of the old work like the Vitra Fire Station, when we start with one of our first buildings, or maybe the first building, which was about, you know, sort of lines and so on like this. In Rome, the lines got twisted and laid over each other like an archaeology. So this idea of combining the lines with landscape and also a spatial experience, which is a museum. One was a fire station, which is not like a fire station, but this is a museum where these kind of alleys or streams wind up like streets on a kind of a Italian hillside, and they raise you towards the top of the building. It was also about layering, which was started off as a method of working, but it became a method of building. The aquatic pool, the aquatic center in London, the swimming pool, if nobody has gone swimming there, it's open to the public, and anybody can swim there, which was about also like a kind of a wave. And now the wings have gone. We have complete transparency in the pool, and you know how the wave dips down to the diving. It's higher for the diving, lower for the swimming pool, which was also influenced by kind of living creatures. So when you're underneath it, you are like almost under sea life or a wave. This is, most probably some people of you know, it's in London, the Serpentine. The circular wing. What is interesting about this project is it's kind of made of fabric, and it's completely technologically kind of engineered. But the idea was that the structure is in the columns. The columns have they're hollow, so they allow light through, and it touches down 3 times. So it's like there's an edge beam which is on the edge, and it just. So I think that we became very interested also on how to make these things and the engineering, which allows us to create these kind of very special experiences. So the edge beam is then covered with the material, but actually the whole structure is a kind of a tenting material in 3 layers or 2 layers. A museum in Glasgow, which is like a kind of connecting these 2 rivers. It's a transport museum for cars or vehicles or, sort of trains. There's a house in Moscow,
Wow.
which has been taking a long time to make, and not because it was difficult, but because for other reasons. It wasn't actually very difficult, but the client, who's a developer, decides that he knows how to do everything. So he sacks whoever it is there, like the glazing people or the concrete people, and he decides to do it himself. So we designed the furniture for him, which is to be installed, but I think he's also meddling with that. When he first bought this site, which is outside Moscow, very close to where Putin lives and everybody, he wanted not to be on the ground, but he wanted to be with the trees. So the idea is like a tree house. There's a museum at a university building in Vienna, which is made of 3 buildings or 2 buildings, like a library and other things. So that's we have these that just opened very recently, last year.
The great thing about your buildings is each time there's a new one, we can put it as a 2-page spread in wide and it looks stunning.
This is also another building which would have been almost 3 buildings, but they became 1. And the interesting idea about this is that the concrete is like kind of an archive building, so it's very heavy and dark, has heavy flooring, but the crevices are where all the public spaces are. So we always do these projects which have a certain interpretation. So in this case, the glazing with the fins is where all the lobbies and the public domain is.
So it must be really lovely that after the rest of the world was commissioning you, it took the UK a bit of time to catch up. But now your work is embedded as permanent structures all around the UK.
Well, sadly, very few. But yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, I think also another project, 2 projects we've done, which is very nice, the Maggie Centre in Glasgow, which in Kirkcaldy, which was a cancer care centre, and the Brixton School were also very rewarding projects because the people who use them love them and the kids love them. There's a project in Beijing which opened last year, which is Galaxy, where the idea, instead of doing like skyscrapers, there's an ensemble of buildings, and this public space is like a valley. So you are always, obviously, as you enter the valley, you're connected to the next valley, and the interiors are also carved out with atrias and stuff like this.
So what's the unfulfilled goal? What's the big ambition that's next on your list?
I don't know. I mean, think that we have such a variety of projects. We work on, infrastructure, like bridges and so on. This is a project in Seoul, which is also very interesting. It's like 5 exhibition halls, or 4 or 5 exhibition halls, and it looks like a landscape piece, so it's part of the landscape which is existing. And the material is very interesting because kind of also through technology, it's printed. It's not printed. It's kind of hollowed, kind of aluminium sheeting, which changes at night, becomes kind of very transparent. So in the day it's very solid, and the night is very transparent.
You're busy.
Well, these are all done. So we hope the next phase is busy.
How many in your inbox at the moment?
I don't know. Patrick, how many? How many?
60.
Yeah, but this includes a coat hanger.
It's going to be a very special coat hanger.
Yeah, they list every project. They always send me project list with numbers, not knowing I don't know the numbers of these projects. But Yeah, we have some, I mean, we have a lot of work, but I mean, I obviously would like to build more here in major cities because, you know, I can get to them easier. And now I have to think of how to get to somewhere. And so London would be good, but we'll see.
Well, we still love having you as one of our leading exports.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm useful for the British.
Well, look,
An export.
the people who make these decisions, anybody in the room, let's get some more of Zaha's buildings nearby. Thank you very much.
This is a great project.
Which
Before
one's
I
this?
go, this is Baku, which is really like a landscape. It's 3 buildings in one. So one is a library, one is a convention center, one a concert hall. And yeah, it was a very good experience for us because the materiality also is interesting, how to fabricate all these paneling, which are all very different. And we fabricate them sort of locally in Sharjah, send them to Baku. And the interior is all made of laminated wood. These are all done on kind of competing programs and done in Turkey. So it was also very interesting to use knowledge and also use local knowledge and local expertise to fabricate these projects.
Amazing series of creative works. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank you
much
very
for joining us. Zaha Hadid.